Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Round 3 or 4 of trying to record this video because I keep thinking of things I need to add to it. But I found a really cool tool that ideally is going to help with my mental health as a content creator. And this video is two things. First and foremost, it is an announcement of the changes that I'm going to make, which is going to affect you in sort of a way. And for content creators who come across this, I just want you to know that this tool is available because I know that for me and the approach I'm going to take with using it, it's going to help me immensely. So the premise of all of this is that we're on YouTube. We're on a public social media platform. And unfortunately, that means that because you're posting content on a public social media platform, you are open to the public and all of the various kinds of people that are out there on that platform, which means that when you post something, there's inevitably going to be somebody who doesn't like what you had to say, and they're going to make sure that you know it. And they're going to leave some kind of comment, and it's probably going to be mean. It's probably going to be, a bunch of jackassery, and it is what it is. Now, for the longest time, I've just kind of sucked it up and lived with it because I couldn't find any way of kind of limiting that. And I'm the kind of person who I want to interact with my audience if I can. And because YouTube doesn't really provide any really good ways of filtering out comments, and because I also have this kind of checklist mindset where I want to get rid of things. When I come over here to my community tab and there's a list of comments here, I want to get rid of them. It bugs me that they sit there. It just kind of sits in the back of my mind and just really gets to me. So the reason I bring all of this up is that there are some filters here that will allow you to filter your comments out so that you only see the kind of comments that you want to see. And ideally for me, in an ideal world, I would have this filter set up so that I could see all subscribers and my channel members, right? I would have it set up so that all of my subscribers' comments show up here and all of my channel member comments show up here. And the reason for that is that if you care enough about my channel to click the subscribe button, you're probably not going to leave the kind of comment that I want to avoid. Like, I'm not looking for people who aren't going to disagree with me. That's not what I'm looking for. Constructive criticism is always welcome, and I'm always willing to have a discussion about that. It's the jackasses who just want to, be a jerk to you, and because they get off on that, and I want to shield myself from that as much as possible. I can live with it if I have to, but I don't want to. I just don't want to deal with it. So I found a way to kind of deal with it, and unfortunately, it is going to affect my ability to interact with you guys, but my mental health is more important, so I'm going to do that. So we'll talk about what it is. First and foremost, like I said, these filters here filter out comments, but unfortunately, the problem is that when you first load up your YouTube Creator Studio, which is what this is, there's all these little widgets on the screen here, right? And one of the widgets that shows up when you have a new comment that you haven't responded to is a latest comments widget that shows up. And what happens is that it'll show you the last 3 comments, I think, that you've received on your videos and whatever it is that you haven't responded to yet. And ideally, that would be super helpful because it would let you know when you have comments to respond to. The problem is that this widget here is completely unaffected by the filters you set here. Even if you go out of your way to set whatever filter setup you have as your default filter, it does not apply to the widget that shows up here. So what happens is you go in here to check all your stats, and you want to maybe go check how your videos are doing, and then there's this widget sitting here showing you comments. Unfiltered comments, whatever the last 3 comments you got, this is what you see. The problem is that a lot of times those are going to be super negative comments from people who get your attention, and no matter how much you try to resist it, especially me who wants to go through and clear off my list, right? I see that, I read the comment, and then I immediately come over here because I'm like, oh, let me get rid of these comments so I can get back to doing what I want to do. So the thing I found is that there's an extension. Basically, you just go into the Google Chrome or Brave or whatever extension web store and search for No YouTube Studio Comment Widget. That's what it's called. Just search for that. And it removes this widget entirely. It prevents it from showing up. And the reason that's important for me is that now I won't have this showing up and distracting me or causing me to see a comment that I feel like, oh, I got to deal with this now. I actually have to come over here to my community tab to see that there are comments that are waiting for me to respond to. And that's going to be really good for me because now I can set a default filter, right? So my default filter from now on is going to be, I want only channel member comments to show up, right? I'm going to set that as my default filter. So now, whenever I come to this page, it's only going to show me channel member comments. Now, for those of you who are subscribers, what I will end up doing is a couple of times a day, maybe I'll come over here and I'll remove this and then do the public subscribers, and it'll show me all of you who are public subscribers. Unfortunately, YouTube has elected to not make it so that I can filter by all subscribers. So those of you who have the option selected to keep your subscriptions private, I will not see your comments. I'm sorry that that's the way that that works, but it's the only way I can have any kind of a filter that shields me from all of the trolls on the internet. I want to keep making content. I don't want to continue receiving that negative energy from all of the jerks on the online. And the only way to do that is to filter out their comments. And this is the only way I know of to do it. Now, if you are a subscriber and you do not want to become a member, that's perfectly fine. I still want to interact with you. If you are willing, all you have to do is go into your YouTube settings, right? So you click on this, you go down to settings, it'll bring you to this page, you go to privacy, and then you uncheck this keep all my subscriptions private button, and it'll make it so that your subscriptions are available to the filter here. And now whenever I click on the public subscribers option here, your comments will show up here as unresponded because I have it set as unresponded. My channel members all have, I don't say the gold tier of my channel members. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. That is not what I meant to do. I was trying to go to channel member status and do that and set that back as my default filter. My channel members, my gold members, have priority response to comments. So this is why this is going to be the default, because it doesn't allow me to, there's no or statement here. It doesn't allow me to say all channel members or subscribers, right? So because it's an and thing, if I try to put public subscribers here, it's only going to show me people who are both public subscribers and channel members, which means that pretty much none of them are going to show up. So I have to toggle back and forth between them to be able to see the different ones, which, you know, it's fine. It's a button click. But because of that, this is going to be my default. This is what's going to default show up. Channel members will show up first, and then every once in a while I'll click over here and do public subscribers, and then any of you who are public subscribers who have left me a comment, I'll be able to respond to you. I apologize in advance that this is the way that it has to be. Obviously the default is to keep your subscriptions private, and it's reasonable to want to do that. But when you have this checked, it does not allow me to check for you as a subscriber, which means that you just kind of get lost in the noise of the internet. Until YouTube makes it a better way of allowing me to filter out comments, there's just no solution for that I'm aware of. If you know of another extension or something like that that will allow me to filter by just subscribers, I can't imagine there's anything that works like that, because that's this is like a back end kind of thing, I would imagine. But the point is that it doesn't allow me to filter by just subscribers in general. You have to be a public, and you have to let me know that you're a subscriber for me to be able to see it here. As much as that sucks, and I know some people aren't going to understand, and they're not going to appreciate that this is the way that it is going forward, but for my mental health and to have more of a normal interaction with people, and avoid most of the people who are going to come in and make things more difficult than they need to be, this is what I need to do. So I just wanted to make a quick video. I mean, I know it's 8 minutes now, but I just wanted to make a video talking about, A, I'm excited about this extension, and B, if I don't respond to your comments, it's probably because either, obviously, you're not a channel member. Channel members will always be seen, and they'll get priority response, right? But it's probably because you don't have yourself listed as a public. You have all your subscriptions private, and that means that this filter will not allow me to see it that way. And I'm not going to expose myself to everybody else on the internet because of that. I'm sorry if that hurt your feelings. I'm sorry, but I got to do something, because I don't want to deal with it anymore. So that's what's going on now. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully, I imagine the vast majority of reasonable people will understand why I'm doing this. Hopefully in the future, YouTube will come out with better ways to allow us to, manage our interactions with people. But until they do, we got to jury-rig something as best we can, and this is what I'm doing. So thanks for watching. Be sure to come back for future videos. If you are not a subscriber, please be sure to click that subscribe button so that when you leave me, and make sure you're public so that when you leave me comments, I will see them. And also just to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. That is our next goal. Channel members get early access to content, so be sure to click that join button if you're interested in supporting the channel. There's also the thanks button, which is also sort of like YouTube's version of a tip. I have PayPal and Patreon links in the description if you would like to support the channel outside of the YouTube economy. Some people like to do that, so those options are there for you. So thanks again for watching. Be sure to come back for future videos, and I'll see you then.